Hello fight fans, thanks for joining us at MMA Insider. Before we get rolling with today's news, show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing. Now let's uncover the latest happenings in MMA. Starting off, Dustin Poirier weighs in on the UFC's split with USADA. Moving on, Joe Rogan set to return to the commentary booth for first time in 3 months. Next, Francis Ngannou blames boxing establishment for Tyson Fury loss. Lastly, Chael Sonnen has explained why he believes Alex Pereira could become Fighter of the Year with a victory at UFC 295. UFC fighter Dustin Poirier has given his thoughts on the promotion's recent split with USADA. Last month, it was announced that USADA and the UFC will be ending their working relationship. Their association with one another will conclude in January 2024, following a pretty public fallout between the two companies. A parade of fighters and pundits, as you can imagine, had some thoughts on this story. Some were in favor of the move, whereas others were concerned about the impact it would have on drug testing. One person who was recently asked about the subject is none other than Dustin Poirier. As always, Dustin had a solid response. This is what he stated. "It is what it is, man. I'm an athlete. I don't make the decisions on behalf of the company. I just hope whatever new testing program and regimen they're gonna use catches the guys who are actually cheating. Not the tainted stuff, none of that stuff. The people who are deliberately cheating or using anabolic steroids or some kind of performance-enhancing drugs. I hope whatever new program they go to catches these guys." Joe Rogan will reportedly return to the commentary booth for the first time in 3 months at UFC 295 this weekend. Over the course of the last few decades, Joe Rogan has been an ever-present member of the UFC family. From major event to major event, Rogan has been there every step of the way to react to some of the greatest moments in mixed martial arts history. However, at this stage in his career, Joe has the luxury of not needing to work every single event as he once did. So with UFC 293 being in Australia and UFC 294 taking place in Abu Dhabi, it's been a while since we've seen him. As per sources, Joe Rogan will be making his comeback at Madison Square Garden on Saturday night for UFC 295. Jon Anik will serve as the leading man on the mic from cage side. He will command play-by-play alongside color commentators, former two-division champion Cormier and Joe Rogan, who will unite in the booth for the first time since UFC 292 in August. Ex-UFC heavyweight champ Francis Ngannou is riding high off his success against Tyson Fury, despite losing a split decision in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on October 28th. Despite only losing the decision because of a single judge's scorecard, he won't appeal the decision. In a recent interview, this is what he stated: "Who am I going to appeal to? I have no chance. I think that's just another way of humiliation. I think even if there was a knockout, they would have found a way to make me lost that fight because I should have won that fight. The guy give me elbow. He elbowed me and they didn't even said anything about it. And the referee didn't even say anything. If that elbow had hurt me, I'm sure they would have count that as a punch and give him a decision." Chael Sonnen suggests Alex Pereira will become Fighter of the Year with victory over Jiri Prochazka at UFC 295. This Saturday night, Alex Pereira returns to action in a blockbuster encounter with Jiri Prochazka. The two will fight for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship, with Pereira attempting to become the latest two-division UFC champion. This time last year, Pereira finished Israel Adesanya via TKO to claim the UFC middleweight title. However, in April of this year, Adesanya got his revenge by knocking Pereira out cold to reclaim the strap. Then a few months later, Pereira moved up in weight to light heavyweight division and defeated Jan Blachowicz via split decision. In the mind of Chael Sonnen, a win over Prochazka would vault him into the Fighter of the Year conversation. This is what he stated: "The current leader for Fighter of the Year is very clear. It's Islam Makhachev. No other fighter this year has taken out somebody to that degree. Islam only got 2 fights this year, but it was the same guy, Volkanovski, the undefeated, the unbeaten, the reigning world champion. While Islam slid past 1, he then took on Volkanovski, who had another title defense and was the reigning sitting world champion, and he didn't get out of the first 3 minutes. The clear leader right now is Islam." However, if Alex Pereira wins, he will within this calendar year, which is the specific dates of the question, have been the 185-pound champion and the 205-pound champion in the same calendar year, and therefore makes him Fighter of the Year per my vote. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Your dedication and support fuel our passion to bring you the latest and greatest in the MMA world. If you enjoyed today's news, please give us a thumbs up and share with fellow MMA fans. Remember to subscribe to stay in the loop with daily MMA updates. We've got a lot of exciting news, interviews, and analysis coming your way every single day. Your engagement helps us grow and serve the MMA community even better. Once again, thank you for being an integral part of our daily MMA journey.